Two great competitors. Tank has unbelievable boxing skills.
Isaac Cruz, this is a fight that he's wanted for quite some time.
I know he want to taste that world title, just not now.
I'm absolutely motivated. I have come here to give my all.
I'm definitely coming with my top game.
This is my dream since I was a little kid myself. I am here to make that dream come true.
You know, it's different when people get hit in the face.
I consider him the best in the division, but he's not impossible to beat.
I've faced guys like this before. This is a guy that we can't overlook.
Him being an underdog, I definitely don't want to do what other fighters did. It's going to be a tough fight. I'm ready to go 12 rounds.
I'm looking for that fighter to bring the best out of Gervonta Tank Davis. Is he the one?
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the official weigh-in show for tomorrow night's Gervonta Davis versus Isaac Cruz mega fight going down at the Staples Center here in Los Angeles. And you know, when it's a big fight, especially in La La Land, you need the big dogs to be a part of it all. You need the celebs. And so not only did they call upon the NBA Hall of Famer, the NBA champion, the man, the truth, Paul Pierce, but they called upon me as well, Ariel Helwani. Hello again, everyone. It's The Truth and the Nose. We'll be emceeing the weigh-in show. We're going to be taking you through the entire proceedings. We're going to be joined by special guest Paul. This is great, man. How are you?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
I'm pumped to be here. Are you?
Yeah, a lot of excitement in the air for this fight. Gervonta Davis, you know he always brings fireworks. Don't know a lot about Cruz, but I know he got some power. I saw him a few times, so it'll be interesting, especially when you get pulled in last minute to come fight a guy on short notice.
Yes, that is great insight there from The Truth, Paul Pierce. Of course, Isaac Cruz was supposed to fight on the undercard. He got the call after Rolly Romero was pulled from the main event after some sexual assault allegations that are still pending. And so here's Isaac Cruz, the fight of his life, the opportunity of a lifetime, Mexican fighter who likes to come forward. You know, when you're from Mexico, when you're that type of fighter, when your nickname is the Pitbull, you're going to bring it to Gervonta Davis. Now, I understand you're a big-time boxing fan as well, right? You've been watching for years, correct?
Yes, I've been watching for years. I've been following guys as far as back as Sugar Ray Leonard, Mike Tyson. I've been to a lot of great fights. Hopefully we get a great one before, because sometimes when you don't know the opponent, know his strengths and weaknesses, especially for fight fans who don't know much about Isaac Cruz, but the guy is definitely a pit bull. He's strong. He's going to come forward, and we know what Gervonta Davis does. He's looking for the knockout, so it should be exciting.
Well, look no further than last week when you have a massive favorite going up against a somewhat unheralded underdog, right? Teofimo Lopez, George Kambosos. What happened? Kambosos shocks the world and wins, so that should be a lesson to the likes of Gervonta Davis not to look past someone like Isaac Cruz.
You can't take anything for granted in this game. You're putting your life on the line every time you step into the ring. You can't take it for granted. Gervonta Davis will be prepared.
Now, it is worth noting that Gervonta likes to fluctuate in weight, right? Not that long ago, he's fighting at 130. Not that long ago, he's fighting at 140. This fight is 135 pounds. And historically, he's had some trouble making weight. I have often said, Paul, that sometimes the weigh-ins are more interested than the fight themselves, because there's some drama, there's some theater there. We want to see how they look on the scale.
Yeah, I like Gervonta more at 140 because
why is that?
Because he has more power. People don't understand how much that extra weight helps with your hands, with your power. You know, he's a slow starter usually in his fights, especially at 135, so he's a little lighter. It's a little more slim. The power isn't as impactful like it is at 140, so it'll be interesting to see, you know, where he's at tonight, you know, and moving forward.
Yes, it's a special Sunday night card. I actually like the Sunday night card, right? Everyone's relaxing after football.
Yeah.
There's a lot to do on Saturday. You want to go out to the club. You want to hang with your friends. But on Sunday, no one's got anything to do at night, right? I actually like this.
Nobody's doing nothing on Sunday. We sitting back. We watching our football games during the day, having our brews, sitting back come fight night. Everybody got to go to work in the morning, so this is the last thing you want to see on a Sunday night, so you're going to have a lot of viewers for this.
First Showtime boxing card here at the Staples Center since Wilder Fury 1. What a great fight that was. We can only hope that this one will be as good as that one. And of course, in a matter of days, they're going to be changing the name of this arena from Staples Center to Crypto.com Arena. This is going to be one of the last great sporting events at the Staples Center. Have you ever been to a fight here at Staples?
I've never been to a fight at the Staples Center. I've been to many basketball games and played in many basketball games. But check this out. You give me $700 million, I'm changing my name to Crypto.com.
It will never sound quite right, despite the money. Do they even let you in the building here? Because I mean, I know you're an LA guy, but you broke their hearts.
No, but listen, it's about respect.
It's about
respect.
They don't let you in the Garden.
I don't want to go to that old building. I don't want to go to that old New York building.
Madison Square Garden, the Mecca? Come on, Paul. No, he's an LA guy. He's going to be there tomorrow night, of course. Yes. Gervonta Davis is the kind of guy, by the way, who I think transcends boxing, right? He's one of those guys right now that I think athletes look out for. Names, of course, he's a protege of Floyd Mayweather that has become a star but can be so much bigger. Do you feel like he's one of those names right now that can be like one of the new faces of boxing? Pay-per-view draw, big-time attraction.
Well, there's a number of things that come into that factor. How do you fight? You know, appeal, the look. He has the look. He has the power. He's a showman. People love to watch him come put on a show because when you talk about Gervonta Davis, he has one of the highest knockout rates in all of boxing, and people want to see a knockout. Right. People want to see you close the deal. Yeah, we like exciting fights that, you know, they go back and forth, maybe 12 rounds decision, but people love the knockout, and that's what Gervonta Davis brings.
That's right. 25 wins, only one of them has gone the distance. So I believe, if my math is correct, that's 96% of his fights end in a knockout or TKO.
Knockout or bust for Gervonta Davis.
That's right. That's why they call him the Tank. Gervonta Davis, Isaac Cruz. By the way, we're going to go through the weigh-ins here. Jimmy Lennon's going to take over in a matter of minutes. I want you to look out for one guy fighting in the co-main event, Sebastian Fundora. Okay. This guy, 6'7". Some say 6'6", but rest assured, super tall, 154. Think about that. They call him the Towering Inferno.
Yeah, I've watched him a few times.
How tall are you?
I'm 6'7".
6'7".
Yeah.
Are you close to 154?
I'm probably 100 pounds more than that.
Isn't that crazy? How does someone who weighs 6'7", who stands 6'7", weigh 154?
Listen, that's going to be a problem in the future as he continues to get better, put on more fights in his resume. It's going to be tough at 154 for somebody to beat this guy. You're talking about he has the height, he has the skill, he has the length. He has all the tools to be one of the greatest boxers all time because we've never seen anything like this in the sport at this weight class. And so as he continues to develop, watch out for this guy because I've watched him a few times and I was like, he's the future of that weight class, or as he continues to move up.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, anytime you got a guy who stands that tall and weighs that little, it's an attraction in its own right. He's undefeated. His opponent, Sergio Garcia, also undefeated, of Spain, fighting for the first time here in America. Gervonta Davis, by the way, fighting for the first time at Staples. He's fought once before in Carson, California. So this is a big deal for a lot of different reasons. By the way,
there go the champ walking in. Here we go. We see him over here.
You see him, Gervonta? You ever meet him before?
No, I haven't met him yet, man. Maybe I'll meet him. There you go.
There you go. There he goes right there. He's got a few Gatorades. Cutting weight sucks, right? And this is no situation where they weighed in this morning. They actually are weighing in officially here. There's no official weigh-in here. This is the actual official weigh-in. But these guys, you know, I don't think enough is made outside of the sport of boxing, combat sports. These guys have to deplete themselves, and then they have to get back up to get in a war. That's so tough. The toughest part of the fight sometimes is the actual fight with the scale. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely, because most of the times you see fighters come in just to make weight. Then you see the next day they put on like 10 to 12 pounds in one day. And so sometimes that fluctuation can be hard.
Right.
It can help you or it can hurt you.
Yeah, the jury is still out on where he is best. Is it 140, as Paul said earlier? Is it 135? Tonight it's going to be a 135-pound weigh-in. So we'll see how he looks. We'll see how his opponent, Isaac Cruz, looks. The Pitbull, hailing from Mexico, getting this opportunity of a lifetime. He could just let it fly, right? He has nothing to lose, this guy. He was on the undercard as of a month ago.
Sometimes those are the scariest fights. You got a fighter who has nothing to lose. Not a lot of people know who he is. He has potential, though. So if you go out there with that type of mindset, no pressure, nothing to lose, and just let your hands fly, you never know what can happen.
Look out, Al Bernstein. There's a new boxing analyst on the scene. That's the truth. I'm the nose. Enough of us for now. Let's go to the legend, the incomparable, the inimitable, the one and only Jimmy Lennon Jr., who's about to MC this thing. Jimmy, take it over.
Gentlemen, very good afternoon to you and welcome as Premier Boxing Champions presents the official weigh-in for our big night of action coming your way tomorrow night at Staples Center. And it's all brought to you by Mayweather Promotions, GTD Promotions, TGB Promotions, and live on Showtime Pay-Per-View. Our opening attraction features featherweight to the ring, 10 rounds of action. It is co-promoted and in association with Samson Boxing. And at this time, we invite our fighters to the stage. First, from Arjona, Bolivar, Colombia. With a record of 30 wins and 4 losses, he has 26 big wins coming by way of knockout. Here's the hard-hitting contender. Please welcome El Escorpión, Miguel Mariaga. And we invite his opponent to the stage at this time from Los Mochis, Sinaloa, Mexico. With 25 wins in his 31 professional bouts, please welcome the world-ranked featherweight contender, Eduardo Zurdo Ramirez. And our fighter is almost ready to step onto the scale. 10 rounds of action scheduled. First, we present a former world title challenger. Tomorrow night, he will be making his Showtime debut. Onto the scale at this time, please welcome El Escorpión, Miguel Mariaga.
Here he is, Miguel Mariaga, 30-4, age 35, the pride of Colombia.
129.5 pounds, 129.5 pounds for Miguel Mariaga. And we bring to your attention this contracted weight on this fight is 130 pounds. Now we invite to the scale the WBC #2 ranked world featherweight contender from Los Mochis, Sinaloa, Mexico, Eduardo Zurdo Ramirez.
Nickname means little lefty in English, the 28-year-old from Mexico.
129.5 pounds, 129.5 pounds for Zurdo Ramirez.
Third fight on Showtime for Ramirez. Debut on Showtime for Mariaga. Get a little face-off action. Paul, would you talk smack in a face-off? Are you one of those? Like if you were facing off against someone, would you be the type to talk smack or would you just let your face do the talking?
You know what? If we get in each other's face and he looking me out, I'm definitely going to talk some type of smack.
Yeah?
Yeah. That's part of the game. That's why I did it in basketball because...
You talked a lot.
Yeah,
sometimes too much.
Psychologically, you can get into your opponent's head right here. You know, it could be intimidating. Oh, see the smile? I don't like the smile.
You don't like the smile?
No,
Why?
I don't like the smile.
Why? Too cocky?
No, the smile is just like...
Disrespectful?
He might be a little scared.
You think the smile is masking the scared?
Yeah.
And there they are, ladies and gentlemen, our opening attraction tomorrow night from Staples Center on Showtime pay-per-view, world-ranked featherweights in action, 10 rounds of boxing. Eduardo Zurdo Ramirez.
I'm putting my money on the other guy.
So you got Ramirez. You're saying that Mariaga is scared.
I got Ramirez.
Wow. It's sort of like sometimes you get punched in a fight, you smile, but you actually really got hurt, but you're trying to play it off.
You're trying to play it off.
Yeah.
Nope.
Okay, that's interesting.
I ain't rolling.
So the truth says...
I mean, he looking too pretty. Hair dye, smiling. I got to go with the other guy.
All right, you're going for Ramirez.
Yeah, Ramirez.
This is great insight. This is what I'm talking about. You boxing analysts. Soon he's going to be on the broadcast breaking things down like this.
All right, fans, here we go. We're ready to bring up our fighters for our next attraction. Premier Boxing Champions presents a middleweight attraction. First joining us to the stage from Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic. His record 20 wins, 1 loss with 16 wins coming by way of knockout. Here's the world-ranked contender, Carlos Adames. And we invite his opponent to the stage at this time, fighting out of Brooklyn, New York by way of Ukraine. His record 13 wins, 3 losses, 10 wins coming by way of knockout. Ranked the WBC #2 middleweight contender, Sergey Derevyanchenko. And it looks like our fighters are ready to step onto the scale at this time. 10 rounds of action, middleweight in action. First, the hard-hitting contender. He is ranked the #9 world contender at 154 pounds, introducing Carlos Adames.
He's in good shape, Paul.
Mm-hmm. You can see his look. Okay.
159.5 pounds, 159.5 pounds for Carlos Adames. And his opponent, former world title challenger, ranked the number 2 WBC world contender in the middleweight division, the technician Sergey Derevyanchenko.
Okay, let me see.
159.5 pounds, 159.5 pounds. We have a fight in the middleweight division. Sergey the technician, Derevyanchenko, Carlos Adames.
Sergey is legit. He has fought the likes of Triple G, Daniel Jacobs, Jamel Charlo. He fought those guys. He fought them tough, fought them close, lost some heartbreakers. Yeah. But he is legit. You don't want to mess with him.
Yeah, a round or two here or there, he would be.
Yep.
He'll
I
probably
mean, some
have a
people
belt.
thought he beat Triple G, to be honest. This is a great fight right here.
Yeah.
A little Drizzy Drake.
Let me see. Okay.
A little half smile.
Nobody
there, Sergey. Leonard Ellerby.
When you the challenger, you can't give him no inch. Like,
I mean, this is
you gotta
unflappable
really
right
give
here.
him. You gotta give him that stare. When you the
And there they are,
underdog,
ladies and gentlemen, for the WBC
This is certain
middleweight
look you gotta
world
have,
title
certain walk you gotta have when you
eliminator,
walk into
the
the ring.
technician Sergey
The
Derevyanchenko
underdog.
versus Carlos Adames. 10 rounds of action in the middleweight division. Tomorrow night, live on Showtime
See,
pay-per-view.
me as an underdog, when I'm coming up there, I'm gonna be mad. I'm gonna have a mad look.
You're
in
gonna
my
cause a
face.
scene?
Yeah, I mean, I'll have a mad look. I'm like, man, I'm the underdog. You know, let me see what's going on. There go my man Berto.
There he is.
There he is. What's up, boy? What's up, boy?
Well, fans, Premier Boxing
How you
Champions
doing?
continues with our official weigh-in. This time we present our fighters in a world title eliminator and the co-main event of the evening, brought to you by Mayweather Promotions, GTD Promotions, TGB Promotions, and Showtime. This bout brought to you in association with Samson Boxing and Maravilla Box. We welcome our fighters to the stage at this time for our co-main event. First, from Torre la Vega in Spain, undefeated at 33 wins, no losses, 14 knockouts, the WBC number 2 ranked super welterweight contender, Sergio El Niño Garcia. And we invite his opponent to the stage. He's stepping up already from Coachella, California. At 6 feet, 5.5 inches, 17-0-1 with 12 knockouts. The undefeated towering inferno, Sebastian Fundora.
Towering Inferno, Sebastian.
And our fighters are ready to step onto the scale. 154-pound weight limit.
Look at that guy. Look at
WBC
his legs.
Super Welterweight World Title Eliminator. Now making his U.S. debut, the undefeated number 2 ranked contender.
We're being joined right now by Edson Berto.
153.5 pounds for
What's
Sergio
happening, dog?
Garcia. 153.5 pounds.
What's up, champ?
What's up, my man? Looking good, brother.
Good to see you,
I
brother.
cover MMA for a living, and that's why I called you Edson. I'm an idiot. Andre Berto. At least I didn't call you your dad, who fought in the UFC back in the day, UFC 10. I remember that.
The whole family.
You know his dad fought in the UFC?
No, I didn't.
His dad fought UFC 10.
UFC 10, my brothers. My
God, I got to get the MMA out of my mind. Of course, Andre Berto, my bad. I said Edson, I was like, damn, you were about to punch me right in the face. You see this guy, Andre?
Yeah.
This guy's 6 foot, what is he, 6'7"?
And what weight?
154 pounds.
That's crazy.
That's a
crazy.
problem.
I've seen him fight before. He just goes all day, too.
Yeah.
I mean, he throws punches all
Andre
day.
Berto, not to be confused with his brother Edson Berto, who fought in MMA. I always want to see Andre fight in MMA. You never fought in MMA.
You know what? I had those conversations.
You did?
I really did. I really thought about, hopping over there, see if I can win me a title in MMA, as well, because I know it's never been done.
Right.
But, I thought about it a little bit more. Not
enough money over there, right?
If anybody could do it, you could do it, champ.
Exactly.
You guys know each other, Paul?
Yeah, of course.
How do you guys know each other?
Man, we
Long years ago.
Yeah, man, we out on the streets.
Sorry,
man.
damn.
This
I
is
was
the culture,
invited.
boxing and hooping.
That's right. That's
We
right.
gonna run into each other at one point or another.
That's right.
Exactly. All the time.
Look at this. Have you ever seen a guy weigh that little, stand that tall?
That's crazy.
Look at that. How do you fight a guy like that? You got to go to the body,
Gotta
right?
go to the body and bulldoze him. But like I said, man, I seen him fight before. He goes all day, throws punches all day. All day, so he's definitely.
Listen, if you're a shorter guy fighting him, you got to look at it like chopping wood.
Right.
You got to break him down.
Yeah.
Right.
Have to. Have to. You can't keep a guy like that on the outside. Reach too long.
Ladies and gentlemen, Premier Boxing Champions presents the official weigh-in for the featured bout of the evening, brought to you by Mayweather Promotions, GTD Promotions, TGB Promotions, and live on Showtime
I'm looking forward to this fight.
First, we invite our fighters to the stage at this time.
Going to fight.
We introduce the challenger from Mexico
that
City,
type of atmosphere like that old Tyson.
Only one loss, one draw, with 15 wins coming by way of knockout. A consensus top 10 ranked lightweight in the world. Please welcome the very exciting Isaac Pitbull Cruz. And his opponent to the stage at this time, the defending world champion from Baltimore, Maryland, 25-0 with 24 big knockouts, the hard-hitting young star of boxing, 3-division world champion, Gervonta "Tank" Davis. And it looks like the challenger is ready to step onto the scale at this time. For the WBA Lightweight Championship of the World, weight limit is 135 pounds. Onto the scale, undefeated in the past 5.5 years, the challenger, relentless, popular, and exciting contender, Isaac Pitbull Cruz. 134.25 pounds, 134.25 pounds for Pitbull Cruz. And his opponent is the defending world champion, in fact, 5-time world champion in 3 weight categories, the undefeated, sensational WBA super featherweight and lightweight champion of the world, Gervonta "Tank" Davis. 134.5 pounds, 134.5 pounds for the defending champion, Gervonta "Tank" Davis.
All right, ain't no thing, Paul. See, he looked good. 134.5.
Look good. But this right here is the time where we just, we get this part of it over. We know all the hard work has been done.
Yeah.
And it's time to eat tomorrow. We got to relax right now, get something to eat, spend time with your friends, your family, get your last, conversations in and
Lock
your laugh. After that, lock in, go to the room.
No more distractions. Turn the phone off.
Man, that's interesting just to hear that process. Just
it's crazy.
Night before the fight.
Yeah.
It's like, you got the weigh in and then.
Look at this face off
right
here.
At what point do you shut it down and you don't talk to people or you just.
Me, myself.
How did you go about the night before?
The night before, I believe, right after weigh-ins. Of course,
there they are, ladies and gentlemen. Expect fireworks for the WBA Lightweight Championship of the World. Gervonta "Tank" Davis versus Isaac Pitbull Cruz. Promising very exciting showdown between these two.
They are not stop staring at each other. They will not stop staring at each other. Look at this.
Okay.
No one wants to break first, right?
Gervonta's locked in.
No one wants to break first.
This is what it's about, though. This is what I love about the fight game. That's what I love about the fight game. All that hard work. Now you sit here in front of the man
Look at this.
that you've been training weeks to.
No one wants to break first.
Nobody.
Now it's a game of chicken, right?
Okay.
Now it's I like this.
Okay.
Don't turn. Don't turn.
Okay.
Oh, even when he turns. Oh, he said in front of him.
Okay. There we go.
And then a push. Oh,
There
this
you
is
go.
great.
That's what we need.
Great theater
It's
right
fight
here.
time. That's what we need.
Right.
It's fight
That's
time.
great theater
That's
right
what we
Watch
need.
out, homie.
Yes, sir. That's what we need. It's fight time.
Now, wasn't that a little disrespectful on Gervonta's part to go in front of the guy? I mean,
Listen. Right now it's
Mind
fight
games?
time. Right now it's fight time.
Hey,
None of
your
that matters.
nickname ain't Tank for no reason.
right.
Tank for
That's
no
right.
reason.
Come on, he a bully. He a bully.
okay, let's take a listen. Maybe Isaac's going to talk about this.
You come from a fighting family. Your grandfather and your father both fought at the highest levels possible. What advice have they given you for things that just happened just like that, or things that lead up in your biggest fight in your career?
¿Qué tipo de consejos te dieron para esta pelea de tu familia? Tenés un historial familiar muy interesante, tercera generación de boxeador. ¿Qué consejos te dieron para este tipo de situaciones en las que quizás tenés adversidad?
La familia lo que me dijo es de que la dinastía Cruz y los mexicanos nos caracterizamos por dar guerras y es lo que vamos a dar. Y que viva México.
Some people think that you should not be here. As of even this morning, they were saying you don't belong on this pay-per-view. You have been telling everybody under the sun that you do belong here. What's your last message to these people out there to show that you do belong?
¿Qué te hace pensar que, o sea, que sos capaz de dar la sorpresa mañana y sorprender al mundo entero con una victoria?
Eso es lo que venimos a dar la victoria y a dar la sorpresa y a quitar el campeonato del mundo a Gervonta Davis.
We're here to win. We're here to win the World Championship and defeat Gervonta Davis.
Thank you. Good luck.
Gotta be confident.
That's right.
Have to be. But it's like Tyson said, you can have your game plan until you get hit.
Punch in the mouth.
All right, I'm here with Gervonta Tank Davis.
Bricks in his hand.
Since the last time you were here on Showtime pay-per-view, a lot of things have changed. You brought another daughter into this world. You've added additional training. Some people may have said that's a distraction for you. Some people actually said it might have helped you. What say you?
It matured me as a fighter, as a person. Have more patience. If you know that, when I'm in the ring, I have a lot more patience than I had before. So.
What say you?
Huh?
People say it was a distraction for you. Some people said that it actually helped you. It became more of a family. What say you?
I'm just, it motivated me, as a fighter, as a person, to go out there and do my job for my kids.
Now, he's been telling everybody under the sun, their promotional house has been telling everybody under the sun that you picked the wrong guy as a replacement. He's shorter than you. He's going to get inside you. He's going to hurt you, and he's coming all out. He's going to be a warrior, a Mexican warrior, like they always go out. What do you say back to that?
They all say that. They all get their heads knocked out.
Now, special Sunday pay-per-view. You got football, then they're going to be tuning into you. Some people are still debating on whether to get it. What do you say to these people here that are still debating on getting the pay-per-view?
Make sure y'all, tune in, man. This is going to be big for the city of Los Angeles. And, may the best man win come Sunday.
Thank you.
What happened?
I don't know.
All right, so there you have it. Both men made weight a little contentious in the stare down. Paul, we spoke about it earlier. You were wondering if 135 was too light for Tank Davis at this juncture in his career. What did you think of how he looked on the scale?
I mean, he looked a lot bigger than his opponent.
Yeah.
Already, he already has an inch on him. Even the size, when I look at their arms and chest, he looked a lot bigger than this guy. He's little. He's going to have to get up under Davis. I'm not sure that's something you want to do because he got a vicious uppercut.
Yeah.
I see this is going to be a major. I see this in it very early. I'm going to say this is going within 5 rounds.
Wow, and you're not just saying that because the man himself is about to join us right here now.
He's with us now.
Davis, how are you, sir?
What's up, my
Of course,
boy?
you know this man,
What's
Andre
up, man?
Berto. We're live seconds after the weigh-in. Could you tell us, Gervonta, and by the way, thank you so much for joining us. How was the weight cut?
Once again, guys, +1.
You said the weight cut?
Yeah.
How was the weight cut?
It was regular. I'm drinking more water now, so it was easy to cut the weight as normal. I used to eat a lot of junk food in training camp, but now I'm starting to eat more healthy, so it was good.
I got a question. How does your preparation change knowing that you got a fighter at the last minute that you wasn't originally supposed to fight, but now you're fighting Cruz? So how does the preparation change?
I don't think it really changed that much. We always train hard. I remember in the amateurs we had different fighters that we was fighting against different days and things like that. So I'm used to adapting to the fighter that's across from me that night.
All right, I got a question. Everybody knows about your explosive speed and power. Do you think this is going to be a great fight to really display your boxing skill? Because that's something that I know about you. You have great ring IQ, but I think a lot of people put too much on your power and your explosiveness, which is great. But you think it's going to be a great fight to be able to show your boxing skill?
I think so because of what type of fighter he is. He's a come forward fighter. I don't want to just sit there and trade shots for him. The beginning of the rounds. But I think this is a fight that show my skills, show my my feet work. All the tools that I have that I ain't even showed before. I think this is the fight that I can show it.
Gervonta, when there's a fight like this and everyone is picking you to win and the odds are very much in your favor, but then literally a week ago you see what happened to Teofimo Lopez against George Kambosos, massive underdog wins. Is that a reminder to you, like, man, I can't look past anyone that same thing could happen to me if I look past this guy onto bigger fights?
For sure. You know, I'm glad like things like that, you know, happen. Not, I don't want to say to him, but just a lesson to myself that keep me up on my game, keep me humble and things like that. But I've been in that position that Isaac Cruz been in, you know, that he had now, that, you know, the odds against him and things like that. So I think I perform better when, you know, the pressure on me. So I think that, you know, that will keep me level-headed just to know that, you know, where he's coming from. You know, I've been there before, so that keep me on my game as well.
Well, what type of statement you want to make tomorrow, bro? Because right now in your career, even though you being so young, you kind of have that young Mike Tyson type of, you know, like when it comes to the atmosphere of your fights, that excitement. What type of statement do you want to make tomorrow here at the Staples Center?
I think I perform better when I'm just out there having fun. I think that it's also business, but I try to do stuff that I do normally every day. Like I stay at my same crib. I drive to the arena and all that. Try to do stuff that I do, you know, each and every day, and not try to change nothing up. So when I get under the lights, I can perform like I'm in the gym. You know what I mean? So I just try to do regular stuff that I do each and every day. Not try to be, you know, too big head. I like to stay like humble.
I want to ask you this. You've fought in many different arenas. Now you're fighting in the Staples Centers. So many great fights have been fought in this center. Is there a different feel coming into this fight as opposed to fighting in Vegas or fighting in Los Angeles at such a historic arena?
I mean, it's big. It's big. If you know me, you know I come from a small city and it's dangerous. So I'm definitely happy just to be here, just to be able to fight in LA. Period. They say the house of Kobe and things like that. So I'm just blessed to be in this position. So I'm gonna take advantage of it, not try to, you know, go out there and do like anything that's out my league, but be myself, be the young fighter I am, the fast, explosive, and get the job done.
Could we ask you, Gervonta? We just saw the face-off. It was pretty intense. Both of you didn't want to break. You didn't want to stop looking, and then you kind of got in his way, and he pushed you. What did you see when you were looking at Isaac Cruz?
I mean, I feel as though the next fighter never want to look off first because they don't want to break. Like, they don't want to look soft. You know what I mean? So I felt that in him. So I know that he's not coming to lay down. He's gonna come. He's gonna put up a good fight. So that's what I'm looking for. That's what the fans want. So I'm all for it.
This is one of the first fights that you're gonna have that you're looking down at your opponent.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you're looking down at your opponent, but of course he's gonna come and bring that same type of pressure. Do you think that's going to change your game up a little bit more, or is that just going to feel completely new for you to be fighting somebody a little bit shorter than you?
I think there's something new to be on this stage, like fighting somebody smaller than me. I can't really say till I get in there with him and see his punching power, see his speed. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna try to, you know, go out there and gut him out the first round. I gotta see what he bringing to the table, and then I can like match his energy.
My man Paul has been watching boxing for a long time.
I noticed you could hoop though. You got a little hoop game.
That's
a little bit.
We saw you on the All Access. You were getting fired up there. You were trying to foul. You went straight to the tape.
Yeah.
Maybe one day we can get a one-on-one.
Nah.
But I did see you talking to the Duke men's basketball team.
Yeah.
Mike Krzyzewski, Coach K invited you.
Yeah.
What was that like?
It was great. You know, able to, you know, to talk to Duke and Coach K and them. You know, it felt great to be able to, you know, be in that atmosphere, you know. So I took it all in. I was appreciative of them having me, and you know, I wish them well for their career, and they did the same to me. So it's all love.
135 is fascinating right now, as you know. We were talking earlier if this is going to be your home for the future. Obviously tonight is 135, but recently you fought at 140. You also fought at 130. What's the best weight for you in your opinion?
I think 135. That's where a lot of monsters at. I feel as though we got a great division right now. So I think I can stay at 35 and, you know, fight with the other guys.
All right. You gonna watch Devin Haney? Keep your eye. maybe side? Check the text.
I don't know.
You don't need to worry about that.
Don't worry about this fight.
Come on, man.
Yes,
There's a
sir.
lot going on. It's a
Yeah.
lot of fun right now, and it all ends with you.
Yeah.
They always keep the best for last, my man,
for
right?
sure.
It all ends with you.
Yeah.
Best of luck to you on
Yes,
Sunday,
sir.
and thanks so much for stopping
Thank
by.
y'all for having me. Yes, sir.
Good luck to you, my man. There he is, Gervonta Davis, Isaac Cruz. Hey, he looks like he's in great spirits, right?
It's fight time.
Hey.
Nothing else to do. That's it. It's time to go. That's it.
You think he's going to watch? You think he keeps his eye on the other guys?
I think all of us still try to keep a little.
You got to,
eye
right?
on the
You got to know what the
competition.
competition
You
is
have
doing.
to, have to all the time. But I think like he's focused. What up, baby? My guy.
How are you, sir? How are you?
My guy, Caleb Plant.
Caleb Plant joining us. I mean, this is great. I was joking earlier, Paul, they bring out the A-listers for a big fight. We just got A-listers just walking up here. This is beautiful. Caleb Plant, who just, of course, fought Canelo Alvarez. Thank you so much for the time. We really appreciate you stopping by. What brings you here today?
Just, in town here to see Gervonta fight and, just relaxing a little bit.
There was a great fight that you just were a part of. A great moment afterwards, man. That moment went viral. The conversation between you and Canelo, that clip. What was it like for you to watch it after the fact? You know what I'm talking about, right? When you kind of apologized and he apologized. That was beautiful stuff, man. And I thought it said a lot about both of you guys and the heart that you have and the kind of people that you were. But to watch it after the fact, when the dust settled, what were the emotions that came out for you?
Well, really, I was just telling them that I was sad. And, you can laugh, but, it was an honest moment. I was being honest in that moment, and I was sad. And I told him I wanted to keep fighting, and I did. I put in a lot of work for that. I really wanted. I didn't show up to just, get a check. I came to win, and so I was disappointed with the outcome, but I know I put up a great fight. It could have been 6-4 either way. It could have been 5-5, and just a little more experience. That was my 22nd fight, and so I'll lick my wounds. I'll be back.
And that's a great thing about the fight game, man. And of course, we've had these type of conversations before. When people look at us, they see that they think that we're just machines and we just go nonstop without any type of emotion. But the fact that just having a fight of that magnitude and having a great performance and it finishing the way that it did, but being able to be men and to be able to have those type of conversations and to be able to show that emotion, I think that's amazing. I think that's something that we have to continue to show throughout the sport.
Yeah, some fighters, it's like they may try to make excuses in that moment, or, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be that type of person. I'm disappointed with the outcome, but I'll be back. So that's what it was, and we settled our differences, and I'll be back at the top of the year.
Yeah, absolutely. I truly believe I was at the fight. I truly believe you put the boxing world on notice. Your spirit, your heart. You went against one of the greatest boxers, probably going to be ranked all time. What's in your future? What's next?
Well, this will be like the first time in 5 years I get to see my grandparents for Christmas. So I'm going to go home, I'm going to see them, and I'll be back in the gym soon. I don't like to stay out of the gym too long. And like I said, I'll be back in the first quarter of next year. So.
And that's the thing with that fight. That you just have with, with Canelo, like I've told you before. You showed so many different attributes in that fight that made the fight very difficult for him that I don't know if so many people kind of picked up on. And I think it really took your game to a whole nother level. And it continue to keep those type of eyes on you too, to know that you're something special in the division.
Yeah, I've been doing some of these things for a long time in my fights, but I just didn't have that special name to do it against and to show them that I could do it at a high level. And it's just a bit of experience, like I said, that I need, and I'll be able to carry that with me into my next fight, and I'll be back in the gym working, smoothing my edges, rounding everything off, and just perfecting my craft. So.
What, if anything, surprised you? Obviously Canelo considered by most the pound-for-pound best right now, but actually being in there with him, what did you not expect that you ended up like, damn,
well,
this
I feel
guy's
like
really
I handled
good?
the crowd well. I handled the moment well. Honestly, my biggest surprise is I started stepping to him because I was like, man, when the punches that he's landing, you know, they're not landing like maybe I thought they might. People talked up his punch and power, and so I started stepping to him. He started landing that right hook to the body and maybe poked a hole in my gas tank. And then he did wind up catching me. You know, I'm not taking anything away from him. But the biggest thing that surprised me is at first, you know, he wasn't really punching like that, like I thought he might. You know, you hear these tails and these tall tails he's missed. So, you know, his punching power, as soon as he hits you, your orbital bone's going to break or your ribs are going to crack. But, you know, regardless, it was a great fight. And, you know, I'm excited for what's next.
Like I said, within that fight, that side positioning was just so key. It doesn't matter how much, you know, Canelo tried to bring that pressure and tried to unload his punches. Just that side positioning that you gave him, it didn't, I mean, everything just kept spinning off. I said, okay. I hope all the young fighters are watching this so they can really see how the craft of this fight game is.
Andre's showing you mad love here today. Andre's showing you some mad love.
Yeah, definitely, man. That's my guy. His skills are serious, man.
And listen, he's gonna be back.
For sure.
Trust me.
I never left.
He never left.
That's right. He almost forgot.
Absolutely, he never left. But this is the future and the now in this division.
Before we let you go, Caleb, could we ask you about tomorrow night's main event? Could we get a prediction? Gervonta Davis, Isaac Cruz. Who do you got and why?
Well, you know, I don't think it goes the distance, and but you know, I got Gervonta winning by knockout, and you know that's my pick. That's what I got, and that's why I'm here. So he better deliver.
All right. Thank you so much, and congrats on a great fight and representing yourself and the sport of boxing so well in that fight, especially in the aftermath. That was beautiful stuff.
Much respect.
Yeah. Caleb Plant, everyone. Great moment there. You've probably seen it. What a beautiful scene that was afterwards. Yeah. That kind of love between two guys who had, you know, some bad blood beforehand, Andre.
Great fight, man.
But afterwards, it was beautiful, right?
I mean, it's a fight game. It's a fight game, man. I was just glad to see just the art. It was just beautiful. The whole fight was just beautiful to watch. From the offensive, you know, work to the defensive work that Caleb put in, and of course, it ended up with a knockout, and you know, we're able to see that small poetic, you know, like ending towards the end. So
Paul never did that to the Knicks when you broke our hearts many times. Like, couldn't have said "I love you" to Melo after breaking our hearts.
That's
just
similar,
won.
like basketball and boxing is similar. Like you know, it's like we played the Lakers in the finals. We kept giving them body blows, and then Game 6 was the knockout punch. We won by 40.
Yes, but you didn't say "I love you" afterwards, did you? Did you say "I love you"?
You know, it was always mutual respect.
That's
you know,
right.
me and Kobe gonna go hug, rest in peace.
Yes,
one of the greatest ever, man. You know, it was always love.
Yes, Staples Center. The last great fight to take place here at the Staples Center before they changed the name. And look who we have here. I mean, you know it's a big fight.
Hold on.
When the CEO of Mayweather Promotions.
Hold on, I gotta put my shades on.
Oh, my God.
Get out of here,
I have to say.
Get out of here, bro.
Leonard Ellerby.
This is the coolest guy in
Hey,
boxing.
I'm not used to you not in a three-piece suit. Come on. What is this, casual Saturday?
I'll be ready tomorrow, though.
All right.
I'll be ready tomorrow.
Right.
Is it true you don't wear a suit twice?
True.
How many do you have?
Man, I got like 2 houses full
Just
of
suits.
Yeah.
He got a house just to get us. Put the suits in.
This ain't no type of bullshit either.
One of the best dressed men in boxing, Leonard. It's good to see you again.
Likewise.
It's great to be here. This is a big time show. Can I ask you, what's the thought process? We were talking about this earlier. We like Sunday. We like it a lot. After football, sit back. You know, there's a lot going. Why Sunday? And could this be a thing in the future? More Sunday big fights.
Well, yeah, like you said, big fights. And it gets no bigger than Tank Davis. The only other time we did this was in June with Floyd. So, again, right now, even with Floyd being retired, he's still the face of boxing and the biggest attraction in the sport. You know, he did 1 million buys, and nobody's come close to that, and this guy's retired. And as it relates to Tank, he's the most exciting fighter in the entire sport. So, you know, why not? Sunday night is all the biggest things are happening entertainment related. And see, people, we have to start thinking outside the box. You know, you hear some promoters complain about nobody selling tickets, and we don't have that problem with this young man because he gives the fans exactly what they want to see.
Definitely. So what do you think about this fight tomorrow? You know, with like him and Cruz. Of course, you know, Cruz is a different type of opponent, shorter than him. You know, he's going to bring that pressure. You know, we just spoke to Tank. I told him, because I know Tank and I know what his abilities are, I think it's going to be a great fight that he's going to be able to show his boxing skill, because I believe a lot of people, they're so dialed in on his explosiveness and his power, but they don't really understand and get how ring savvy he is, and he has great boxing skill. And I think this might be a great fight to be able to showcase that. But what do you think?
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more, Bert, because again, Cruz's style, I think, will bring out the best in Tank. You know, I think that he's going to force Tank to do some things that the fans hadn't been used to seeing. Right. You know, he's a very, very good young fighter, and I love his style because he's come forward, and it's going to be an all-action fight, and this is exactly what the fans want to see anyway. Thanks. You know, I think that Tank will have to box tomorrow, and I think the fans are going to be surprised of how exceptional his boxing skills are.
Now, I got a question. Now, Floyd, major superstar in the sport, left a void. You know, people always got excited to watch. He was the face of boxing. Now you got guys like Terrence Crawford. You got Canelo Alvarez. But can Tank fill that void as the next great superstar in boxing? That's where it's just like you're going to have celebrities. Can't wait to see his fight. Pay-per-view. Must-see TV. Can he fill that void that Floyd left behind?
Well, Paul, I'm sure you've been paying attention. All you got, the numbers don't lie. Everywhere he goes, this man sells out. I mean, we was just down in Atlanta, you know, a few months ago, 16-4, 3-5. You know, actually, we had more fans at our fight than the Hawks did at their playoff game. You know what I mean? It's just like he gives the fans exactly what they want. He's that guy for this new, young generation. And again, and what I really love is like they don't care who he fights. Like when we were just
that's
in
what I'm talking about. When it's like we don't care who they fight. When they come, everybody wants to watch.
And listen, and you know, them brothers and sisters, they come, they fly. They just want to, you know, it's like what it reminds me of is like Mike Tyson back in the days when people just used to just come to be in the lobby, just to be part of the event. You know, because again, his events, Tank's events are spectacles. I mean, you just feel the energy in the building like when he's walking out, you know, because it's like he's always got a hot artist with him, you know, and the place is just rocking. Everywhere we go, we went to UK, we went to Baltimore, we went to New York, you know, Atlanta. We come out west, he did Dignity Health Park. You know, everywhere we go, he sells the joint out and gives the fans what they want to see.
Can I ask you, Leonard, you know, since this is the weigh-in show, we've been talking a lot about Tank's future and which weight he's best at, right? 135, 140, 130 as well. He showed the power there at 130. What do you prefer? Where do you want to see him, you know, for the next couple of years?
I think between 30 and 35. Okay. But if there's a mega fight, a big fight, then he can go up. He can go up. But he's not a 40-pounder.
Right.
I mean, you look at his frame, he's not a 40-pounder. You know what I mean? He's in the past, and another thing I want to touch on, what I'm really impressed with him is his maturation. Like over the last couple years, I mean, I think becoming a father has really like settled him down. And, you know, it's like we've had some really, really good talks about he gets it. He gets it. And that's what it takes for a young guy who's looking to become like a pay-per-view star, you know, because you got to be able to appeal to the fans and, you know, give them a different side of you, but more importantly, perform in that ring.
Definitely.
You know.
Definitely.
I would say, I don't know if you guys agree, I think 135 is probably the best division in boxing right now.
It's hot.
And it's great to see all these fighters fighting at around the same time. But I think you would agree, Leonard, we want to start to see these fighters fight each other, right?
I couldn't agree with you more, but one thing we're not getting ready to do is that this is a business.
Yes,
and I'm going to continue to say that. But this is a business, and we're not getting ready to throw money away. Okay, this man has proven he's giving the fans exactly what they want to see. So some of these promoters, they got to find creative ways to build their fighters. You know what I mean? It's like if you go into these arenas and ballrooms or whatever, and nobody's paying to come see you, it's for a reason. You know, so they got to find ways to build their fighters. And like, for an example, I think Devin Haney's a terrific fighter, okay? And it's no knock on him, but his promoter's done a terrible job.
You guys have been going back and forth all week on social media.
Yeah, but because he's a clown.
Damn, you
but
see
anyway, that's a whole other story for another day. But as an example, it's like
don't feed the trolls, Leonard.
No.
It's part of the game. That's part of the game.
Yeah, it's like, man, I'm just doing my job. I'm gonna always uplift my fighters. And this is like I know what I'm doing. Like they can say whatever they want to about us as a company. We done promoted the biggest fights in the history of boxing.
Absolutely.
Point blank, mic drop.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
There we go.
Yeah, so as it relates to what you're saying, It's like, so I can't do these other promoters. I can't do their job for them. Like, Haney's a terrific fighter. Here's an example. They've only sold, as of yesterday, 4,000 tickets, right? And it's fighting in a venue that's a little over 15,000 at MGM Grand. Now, what am I supposed to do? He makes terrific money. That's one thing I give his dad and him credit for, is like they're very smart business guys. But I'm not getting ready to overpay him and tell my kid to, oh, you gotta take a pay cut because. Does that make any sense?
No.
Because right now, like, what are we gonna do? We're gonna fight and we're gonna sell out arena? Well, Tank's already doing that by himself.
So who's on his level? Who could, you know,
all of these guys can step up, and we're willing to fight them.
Yeah.
But it has to be, as the saying, so it has to work for both sides.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It has to work for both sides because, again, what I'm not getting ready to do is overpay somebody and we lose a bunch of money.
So what do you think really has to happen? Because Tank, you know, he's moving somewhat. Like his whole situation is somewhat like a machine now. We talk about his promotion, you know, his superstar status, you know, his Instagrams, his social medias, everything is moving so big for him now. What do you guys feel like you guys need to do to make these right matches with a lot of these other big, you know, 135 pounders like the Devin Haney's, the Teofimos, the, you know, whatever the case may be? Or do you just have to keep doing what you're doing? Because he's going to sell out regardless.
Yeah.
And so is it even going to make sense to even go to fight any of these other guys?
I think they have to continue to find ways to figure out how to become an attraction. I'm not saying that they have to be on his level.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that, but again, if people.
But I'm saying that if that doesn't happen, do you think you guys are just going to be in a good space, continue doing what you're doing right now? Because he's already selling out. He's doing whatever he wants to do now. So you guys believe just, you know what I mean, just like business-wise, you guys can continue moving like you're moving right now.
We're going to continue doing what we're doing, you know, like I said, because, again, this is a business.
Yeah, it is.
You know what I'm saying, at the end of the day. And, again, people, they pay to come see Tank.
Yeah.
They pay, and why they come to see him?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We would love to make these, quote-unquote, these great matchups. But the fights that some of the fans think that are big, they're not big.
Yeah.
See, I have an advantage because I understand what the business is.
And behind the scenes.
And some of the trolls and those guys out there, they don't understand what the business is. But when Bob Arum says it, then it's okay.
Yeah.
And, you know, like he says, I'm not paying this guy no $5 million, this and that, because nobody want to see him. Nobody cares.
That's the reason why he's saying that.
Yeah, right?
Which a lot
when
of
Bob
fans
says
don't.
that, it's okay.
Yeah.
But if I say it, it's a problem.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So let it make some sense.
Well, if we learned anything from last week, guys, it's don't look past the opponent. So here we are.
Say that one more time.
Let me put my promoter hat on, Leonard.
Put it on.
So
Isaac Cruz should not be looked past because we know what happened last week. I'm not saying Teofimo looked past George Kambosos, but there's a great fight happening this Sunday. And off air, by the way, Leonard, we're going to talk, my new best friend Paul and I. He saw Darren Williams step in the ring. We might be talking about a Mayweather
you looking to get in there, Paul?
Man, listen, if the price is right.
Yeah, let's see.
But my price might be a little too high.
You got to go through me, though. I heard it's 10 million.
I don't got to do that.
What is it, 10 million, 20 million? We'll talk after.
You already just put your work in.
Yeah, I'm sitting back
We'll talk
watching.
after.
I'm sitting back watching, baby.
Show.com/PPV, Sunday night, Staples Center, Gervonta Tank Davis, one of the biggest stars in all of boxing, going up against Isaac Cruz, and it's a fantastic undercard. This man himself, Leonard Nelby, said might be top 2, top 3 greatest undercards that he's ever promoted. That's what he said from his mouth. I heard it a couple of days ago, and I can't wait to see the Towering Inferno. We love him.
I'm going to be looking out for the suit tomorrow.
Yeah, we can't wait for the suit as well.
tomorrow.
This has been a lot of fun. Leonard, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good luck tomorrow.
I know what it is.
Andre Berto, you're the man.
Sir.
Thank you so much. You really helped us out
It's
here
fight
today.
time now.
I mean,
What
you know,
we
it's a
doing?
big
It's
deal.
You back in the ring.
Man, you know
You got an announcement?
we going to see.
Wow.
We going to see. Maybe
This man coming out of retirement?
Hey, man, we're going to see.
Okay.
Man, I think I saw him jogging down Sunset one day. Man, I think I saw him maybe this year or last year doing the. He was jogging down. I think it was. Have you ever jogged down Sunset?
All the time.
I knew I caught him.
Was one of the
I caught him jogging. I I was like, that's Berto right there, jogging down Sunset.
That's a Paul Pierce scoop right there. Berto training for the comeback.
See, I knew it.
Always working,
I
baby.
knew it.
Always working.
I knew it.
This has been a lot of fun. Unfortunately, we are out of time. Leonard, thank you so much for
Thank
the
you
time.
guys for
Paul,
having me.
great
Yeah,
working with
appreciate
you.
it.
Oh, my
Andre,
God.
you're the man.
Jay.
Say hello to
My God.
Edson. Say hello to Edson and your dad for me.
I will.
Thank you so much for watching the official weigh-in show right here on Showtime Sports. Again, tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific, Staples Center, La La Land. The stars come out on Sunday night. Gervonta Tank Davis versus Isaac Cruz. Do not miss it. Show.com/PPV is where you can watch it. For Leonard Ellerby, for Mr. Paul Pierce, for Andre Berto, I'm Ariel Hawani. Again, thanks for watching. We'll see you Sunday night.
Bow, bow.
Two great competitors. Tank has unbelievable boxing skills.
Isaac Cruz, this is a fight that he's wanted for quite some time.
I know he want to take that world title, just not now.
I'm absolutely motivated. I have come here to give my all.
I'm definitely coming with my top game.
This is my dream since I was a little kid myself. I am here to make that dream come true.
You know, it's different when people get hit in the face.
I consider him the best in the division, but he's not impossible to beat.
I've faced guys like this before. This is a guy that we can't overlook.
Him being the underdog, I definitely don't want to do what other fighters did. It's going to be a tough fight. I'm ready to go 12 rounds. I'm looking for that fighter to bring the best out of Gervonta Tank Davis. Is he the one?